It's here, guys. Chapter 167 is finally here, and we're just gonna get right into it. So at the end of chapter 166, we see that Saitama and Garou are about to throw serious punches at each other at the same exact time, which causes Blast to freak out and note that if these two punches connect on Earth, it will destroy the entire planet. So we pick up in chapter 167 with Blast immediately responding by opening a portal right under both of them just before the punches collide. And the combined attacks is actually called Serious Punch Squared, so I guess that's why last chapter was called Squared. Now it makes a lot of sense. But they get teleported into outer space and the two punches collide, sending Blast flying back, and worried that he isn't going to be able to deflect the full power of both these punches colliding. And that's when Blast's team actually shows up in this one. We see the guy that looks like Boros, the lion guy, and the, elven looking woman showing up at the last second and helping him divert the energy away from Earth. And what's really interesting is that we get this zoomed out panel. And first of all, it looks freaking amazing. Like the blast from Saitama and Garou combined with the attack from Blast and his team trying to subvert it away from Earth just looks simply amazing. But even more important than that, we actually see behind the moon, and I guess on the dark side of the moon, there's this huge crater with what appears to be a spine or some kind of back poking out of it. And to me, this basically confirms that God's physical body is actually locked away in the moon. And what's kind of crazy is that if you guys remember when Saitama, Flashy Flash, and Monako first found the cube underground under the Monster Association, they crack a hole in the wall, and when they peek into it, they just see this gigantic, endless hollow space with God in a fetal position. And I don't know, the way his back is shown in this panel, it kind of makes it seem like they were looking into the moon when they were seeing God in this, because in this panel it looks like he would be in a fetal position as well. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But moving on, we actually see that the force from these two punches was so great that it literally destroyed millions or even billions of stars in that space where that energy collided, because we see that there's like this entire landscape of stars with the Earth and just this completely void black circle where stars used to be. And I think that's like absolutely insane. Like this is like black hole level stuff, And then we get to see Garou and Saitama land, and Garou then notices that they're actually right outside the planet freaking Jupiter. Like, what the hell? I don't know how Blast and his team managed to do that, but here they are, and I'm also pretty confused as to how Saitama can breathe in space. And we didn't get too much explanation for that, so, whatever. That's like the least of my concerns at this point. Because, just look at these colored panels, guys. Like, these look absolutely amazing. Like, just the sheer scale that Murata is setting here. Like, they are on a moon the size of Earth, orbiting an enormous planet in some other part of the solar system. Like, this stuff is such insane peak fiction. Like, come on, guys. It does not get any better than that. So we see that Garou is just amazed that Saitama just doesn't care that they are on a moon from a different planet. And Saitama's actually just concerned with the fact that he can actually go all out now. And we see that Saitama is trying to keep Genos' intact core safe by trying to put it in his costume, but then he notes that if his costume rips, then it's gonna fall right out. So he just decides to keep a tight grip on it and not let it go. And then Saitama says probably one of the most savage things I've ever heard him say, where he says, "Bring it on, one hand is all I need for you." And Garou responds by "Oh, okay, bet," and opens up a portal right under him. But then Saitama just kicks the portal away. I don't know how he does it, but I thought this was the most hilarious thing I have ever seen, because of just how serious he looks, just kicking this thing away like it's a soccer ball or something. And of course Garou is totally confused, but Saitama doesn't even give him a moment to think, because he clocks him right in the mouth. And you can just feel the power from this punch in this panel, guys. I love Murata when he's drawing these one shots like this. It's completely amazing artwork. So this punch sends Garou flying, and he attempts to open a portal in the direction that he's flying, so he can then open a second portal right by Saitama and land a sneak attack on him. But Saitama literally just grabs the portal and shifts it up and knocks him right in the chin. He's defying physics in so many different ways in this chapter, but I love it. I don't even care how much it doesn't make sense, honestly. So then Saitama tells him to stop messing around and stop it with all the tricks and to just fight him with his fists. So Garou responds by combining all of the attacks that he's learned on his entire journey and unleashing them on Saitama all at once. And we get this crazy panel of Garou opening like 10 times more portals than Blasted when him and Garou fought. And we see him call out all these various moves that he's learned and striking them on Saitama one by one. And when they all combine, it causes this gigantic nuclear explosion on Jupiter's moon. But of course, Saitama is not impressed at all because do you know what he does, guys? He finally uses it. Killer move, serious table flip. And let me just say, guys, like seeing this after so long of, waiting for this to get drawn in the manga after reading it in the webcomic, like it's been years, and just finally seeing this, like I just want to give a congrats to everyone that's been following this series for so long. And, we're finally here, guys. We made it. But moving on. So Garou is obviously completely overwhelmed by this. Like he has no clue what the heck is going on because we see that Saitama literally destroys the majority of this moon by flinging it into millions of little pieces. And we got to remember that this moon is basically the size of the Earth. So just imagine Saitama just doing one serious move and destroying the entire planet Earth like this. Like it's insane. And Garou gets caught up in the middle of all these millions of flying rocks and can't get a sense of direction. And Saitama starts jumping from rock to rock so fast that it's literally looking like there's 20 Saitamas coming at Garou at the same time, ready to deliver the final blow. So of course, in desperation, Garou tries to open a portal to get away from this because it's probably gonna finish him off right there and then. And to Garou's and my surprise, Saitama actually comes from inside of the portal somehow and lands another one right to him and sends him flying across the rocks. And then we get another one of these amazing colored panels where all the debris is scattered around in the form of a sphere, and there's all these light streams from the after images of Garou and Saitama's fighting, like how we see in the fight between Flashy Flash, Platinum S, and Garou. And we see Garou going on about how he can't find his sense of direction because he tries to open up a portal and ends up shifting himself into the ground because he thinks that, up is down and down is up, and compares it to being an insect being shaken up by a lunchbox by a kid. So Garou pops out of the ground, getting more and more frustrated, but Saitama hits him with another serious punch. So this is now, I think, like 4 serious attacks that Garou's taken, but he still isn't done because he goes back into his Saitama mode, and he says that he's going to come at Saitama's limitless power with even more limitless power. And we get this final panel of them both hitting each other square in the face at the exact same time with serious punches, dealing what seems to be some massive amount of damage. I mean, I'm sure Saitama isn't taking that much damage or any at all, but I am sure that Garou is. But that's where the chapter ends. And guys, this was probably one of my most favorite chapters. Like, we have been getting so many amazing chapters these last couple weeks, and I'm just a very grateful One Punch Man fan right now, and I hope you guys feel the same way. Let me know what you guys think of this chapter in the comments. Did it live up to your expectations? Did it not? Let's have a conversation here. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.